bullshit. He wants to know Paige, that's what it is.
I just don't know. I just feel like really confused at the minute.
Welcome back to Romance Review TV with Lady T. We got another recap. Love Island Season 8, episode number 18. And look like a second round of karma is being served. And will Tasha turn her head? But before we get into this, if you are new here, hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications. If you like the video, smash the like button and drop a comment down below. So let's jump into this. So as we remember, the new girl Antigone has now hit the villa. And she sparked a little bit of interest with one of the guys because remember she had a date with Jay, Danica and Davide. And she hit it off with Jay pretty much. Then we also had Charlie, the other male bombshell that hit the villa for the ladies. And this guy, he's trying to get to know everybody, meaning the ladies. So they sat down and have a conversation with him. You know, all of the girls and the guys wanted to get to know what the situation was with him. And yeah, he's been in a long-term relationship before. He's a little bit older than the other guys in the villa. And he pretty much is open to finding something solid because he has a history of being pretty much in a committed relationship. As for Ekin-Su, because of the whole date with Antigone, she is still reeling over this thing that Jay has formed a connection. And again, as usual, she's spilling it all out to the girls. And, you know, she's flushing. I can't believe he's playing games. I know he's probably interested in Paige, too. Now, at this point, it hadn't been confirmed, but just wait. So Charlie is now trying to get a lay of the land with the guys to see who relationship is pretty much solid and who he can build a connection with. Now, he's coming in the door checking for Ekin-Su, and also he has an interest in Tasha. And I think his interest is a little bit more with Tasha, but he did check in with Jay. Jay said, oh, our relationship is going pretty well. I did go on a date last night, but I'm okay if you go ahead and talk to her, pretty much. And he was open to that. And then, of course, it's not over. So Jay decides, because he wants to explore his connection with Paige, he has a conversation with Ekin-Su, I guess to do this the right way, so he thought. And speaking with her to, you know, let her know, like, look, I know we got something going on. I'm interested in you, but I also want to check out and see what's going on with Paige. I had an initial interest with her, and I didn't get a chance to talk to her because everything was happening so fast, and, you know, you and I got together. And in this particular moment, Ekin-Su tried to play the mature one and say, oh, yeah, no problem. You know, go ahead and, you know, see and explore your connection if you have one with Paige. I'm okay with that. That's what you're here for. Go ahead. You have my blessings to go and talk to Paige. And she got in that confessional talking about, oh, yeah, you know, I might not like it, but, you know, he should be able to talk to other people to see the connection. So then, I don't know, it's almost like I guess people got to make rounds with people to kind of let everybody know what you're about to do. So Jay had a conversation with Danica and India, you know, letting them know, you know, this is what his plan was and that he already talked to Ekin-Su and everything went well. She's a really great girl. She was really happy for me to explore that whole thing. And I'm like, dude, don't you believe it? So then he goes and he has a conversation with Jocks, because Jocks is partnered with Paige. And to do the right thing, hey man, I'm interested in your girl. I know we have, you two have a connection and you seem to be pretty solid, but I really would like to get the opportunity to talk to Paige and see if it's something there. And Jax actually took it in stride. Now, he seemed pretty genuine, because in his mind, this is an opportunity for a test. This is something that's going to show him that, whether what we have is solid, things happen for a reason, and if it don't work, then it wasn't meant to be. So that's where his head is. The question is, and we'll see whether or not Paige sees it that way as well. So now we see that Jocks is now having a conversation with Luca and Gemma, letting them know that Jay came over, put the offer on the table, like, hey, I want to get the opportunity to see if there's something there with Paige, and I told them that it was okay and it'll probably be a nice little test for us, and they pretty much supported him on that, and so everybody at this point, except for one person, is being pretty mature about this. And I know I've seen other Love Islands, even the USA version, and people don't like when people are dating their partners, especially if they got feelings, right? So then he breaks the news to Paige that, of course, Jay wants to get to talk to you and get to know you. And, he said, I think this would be a good idea for us. It's a little test to see how strong our connection is. And in that moment, Paige seemed to be okay with all of this. I mean, she kept a straight face, smile all good, and until, everything started to unravel. The first thing that started to unravel was Ekin-Su talking to herself about how stupid she thinks she is, because she was too nice in that conversation with Jay. So she decides to pull Jay aside, and Jay is like, okay, I thought we were all good on this. Well, not so fast. Because Ekin-Su had a reality check and she is not happy with this whole thing. And she has some things that she needs to say to Jay, and it's nothing nice. And Jay, you know what? I don't know why you thought otherwise.
It's safe that I would pick you. You could have got to know Paige from day dot, yeah? And now you're wanting to get Paige. Funny that, isn't it? Why would you open up to me? Why would you tell me things like, if someone walked in here, all these cute things, my head wouldn't turn? Do you know how muggy that is?
And I'm like, Jay, you couldn't have possibly, did you not see the blow up between her and Davide? I mean, seriously. So you thought that it was going to go that smooth just as because it was you having a conversation with her? No. And I just laughed through this whole scene here, because I was like, he cannot be that serious to think that it was going to be that smooth.
That's your choice.
And now, all of a sudden, now you want to get to know Paige. She's in a secure relationship. Do you know how fucking muggy that makes you look? You're always concerned about how everyone thinks about you. Mug. You should write it on your fucking forehead.
Well, if I was a mug, Ekin, I would have gone to Paige first, wouldn't I have?
And you know what's really ironic? Apparently I was a player here, but the biggest player in this villa is you, Jay.
Yeah, so he got a double helping. And I mean, I don't understand why he didn't expect that. And I mean, she got loud across the villa. She's yelling about the fact that he wants Paige. And Paige is looking like, I really don't want no part of this right now. I mean, because it's messy. Now, I will give it to Jay by trying to do it the right way. But the problem is he tried to do it the right way with the wrong person, because this ain't who she is. She faked the whole first initial round, and then she turned around and had a big blow up the second go round. But guess what? She's not done, and you're going to see a little bit of that later. But you know what, Jay? You should expect this. You knew what was coming. You were already put on notice. So now we got Charlie. Charlie is really wanting to have a connection and some conversation with Miss Tasha. So he asked Tasha, hey, what's going on with your relationship with Andrew? Are you guys all good? Can I actually get the opportunity to build a connection with you too? And in this moment, Tasha was like, no, I like what we have. I pretty much want to respect that. We're pretty solid. I'm good on you, on this situation, in this moment. Now, key word in my phrase, in this moment. So then we had this conversation with Davide and Danica. Now, remember in yesterday's episode, I was actually wanting these two to build a connection out of anybody. Number one, she's single, he's single, and I actually think that he really, really likes Danica. And so much so because they were playing a little fun banter. It seems like she was keeping him in friend zone in her conversation, whereas he wanted to take it a little step further. And, she was like, well, what do you want to do? And that's what happened. He laid one big old passionate neck stroking kiss on Danica. Now, did it have an impact? I really don't know. She got up laughing and walked away. So now in the beauty room, we see that Charlie is now having a conversation with Ekin-Su, especially since Ekin-Su is so pissed off with Jay. She is way open to build a connection with Charlie. And it's like, oh my God, Charlie, are you sure that you want to do this? Now, listen, he got to figure out who's who, but I'm surprised the other guys haven't warned him as of yet, or anybody else, if he's watching before coming into the villa, to know exactly what happened. And Ekin-Su had the nerve to tell him, oh, I'm not worried about it. Davide I always can get him at any time. I'm like, yeah, okay. He already told you not once but twice. No. So now Paige is starting to freak out because of the fact that, Jay wants to explore this connection with her. And I got to give it to Antigone. She was the villa counselor this episode because she was counseling and giving good advice to all of the ladies. Now, Paige, however, being emotional, she walked into the beauty room. Tasha was in there with her and she started bawling her eyes out. She's uncomfortable with this. She was hoping Jax kind of stood up and say, no, I don't want you to be with anybody else. This whole noble act that she wanted him to fight for her. And Jax is looking at this like, look, we've only been here. Our connection has only been probably a week. We need to see what this is. And if you go with somebody else, I get it, but I need to know the truth. But she's not feeling this. Now, Jax come into the beauty room trying to figure out what's wrong with her because he can clearly see that she's crying. And what does she does? Oh, I'm good. Nope, I'm fine. I'm great. I'm like, are you serious? He wants to know how you feel. You wanted him to fight for you. Let him know how you feel and that you don't really want to do this. But nope, she kept lying to his face, talking about, I'm good, I'm okay, I'm fine, don't worry about it. And now he feels bad because he doesn't know what's wrong with her. And at the same time, he's probably second guessing his decision. I was so hoping that she kind of opened up to him, but it just didn't happen, which I'm not a fan of that type of thing. She should have told him. So now we have Charlie, and Charlie is trying to build a connection even further with Tasha. Now, it seems like in this moment, Tasha's a little bit open. The conversation is concerning Andrew on whether or not he's feeling some kind of way about it. More than likely, he should. But the words coming out of his mouth is, oh, I'm good. Sure you are, Andrew. So now Jay is still reeling after the whole thing with Ekin-Su. Charlie is now wanting to do a workout with Ekin-Su, and Jay is like, okay, fine, whatever, go ahead on, dude, because he's pretty much done in his mind. And this whole scene with them spotting, okay, whatever. So now we have India talking to Paige. Paige is kind of calmed down a little bit in this scene, letting, India know that, what, maybe I will have a conversation with Jay just to see, you can't hurt having a conversation, she says. I mean, I'm sold on Jax, but, in the beginning when I first saw him, I wanted to get to know Jay, so why not the opportunity? So speaking of Jay and Ekin-Su, Ekin-Su once again comes right back around to Jay. And, she's like, I shouldn't have went off like I did, but you should have did this the right way. You should have said that you wanted to get to know both of us. I could have sent Davide home and I could have did something different. And he was like, at the end of the day, I find that we don't have compatibility. And I know that set her off, but oh well. Then Davide is on the other side trying to build a connection with Antigone. I don't see that as strong. I'm hoping for the other situation with him and Danica. So Charlie gets a text that he gets to pick 2 girls to go and get in the hot tub with. And the first girl that he chose was Ekin-Su. And she was over the moon ecstatic about it because now she ready to move on because her and Jay pretty much imploded because of the karma she was served twice. First with Antigone and with Paige. So she's trying to really gauge where Charlie's coming from. And then she's trying to finesse him by saying, wow, you're a mature guy. I've never heard anybody say some of the things that you say are so mature. And I'm like, girl, stop. And she said that I found out that, you offer me so much more. And you only talked to him for like 5 minutes. Same thing when she said she thought she was in a relationship with Jay. Yeah, okay. Speaking of Jay, while she's in the hot tub, he's down with Paige having a respectful conversation with her. And that's how Paige described it. They pretty much, you can tell the body language. There was a little bit of distance. Jax was on pins and needles, wondering, how the connection was going between the two of them, because she was over there kikiing and smiling and laughing and carrying on. And Jay was going with the flow. He really likes her. She is the opposite of Ekin-Su. She's this sweet girl next door type of, and she's really emotional. She's seen kind of feminine. That's right up Jay alley, I think. On the flip side, we see Andrew also on pins and needles because now his girl Tasha is having the second date with Charlie in the hot tub. Now, as much as Tasha was like, well, I'm good with Andrew. Yeah, in the hot tub, I think the waters got a little bit spicy because she started really feeling him. And she actually, at this point, now going up against the competition of Ekin-Su, trying to build upon a connection with him. And poor Andrew, he is now struggling with this. So we'll have to see what happens next. So I hope you enjoyed this recap. Like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you in the next video. Bye.